Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33 teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning, everybody. It is the 4th of November. I am here in Auckland, New Zealand. We have another soul progression lesson for you to apply throughout the week. Now, if you're listening to this on all of the platforms, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, the app, please don't forget to do all the things like tag, subscribe, share, let people know that this platform exists. It really helps me to grow and bring you more resources. But I'm so grateful to have you all here. Thank you for all the comments and letting me know what you're picking up from the Monday mantras, because it's really important that we listen to them a few times in the week when you see it uploaded, and then in the middle of the week, and then the end of the week. Because sometimes for me, I don't get till the end of the week until it's registered. Okay, that's what I saw come up. And it's really important that we try and not make them fit, but the more that you're following the homework and the lessons every week, the more that they will make sense to you, because then you know that you're being aligned on the path. There's a lot to go through, so let's go through it all together. And we do a recap of last week's energy first, because it transitions into this week. They're not exclusively one or the other. It all works together. So you can go back and listen to Monday mantras, because it's all telling a story. It's all transitioning for us in energy. And also you're going to be getting your energy shift as you listen to this and as you listen to it again as you go throughout the week. Okay, let's do a recap. So last week it was an interesting time, because we came into the 1-1 portal, the 111 portal, I should say, and we were discussing how karma is changing, the karma of our ancestors, the karma of us. And I know that it can seem very unfair that we are carrying the karma of our people that have gone before us. And while it is unfair, it is just part of the way that our consciousness works. Because like I remember with clients last week, Spirit was coming through talking about people's siblings, the client's siblings, that had anger issues, or that had aggression issues, or one that committed adultery and had a child that they do not speak to, but then that's affected the client now, because that person has got unconscious boundaries up in terms of having intimacy and togetherness and what it means to have a home. And even though it is a bit like that, like why? Sometimes I'm also going, why God, why universe, why? It is just like that. But what we are doing is working with it to heal rather than the whys, because the whys are so hard to understand straight away. It takes time. And last week we had Diwali, and so we're still working with this light and dark energy. This is also very important when you're applying the Monday mantras to your life, is that you will also see the opposite side of it, because if you're unaligned in some way, or I'm unaligned in some way, it's going to show up in the shadow sides too. And then that's when we have the Monday mantra lesson. Okay, well, how do I bring it back to this? How do I bring it back to the lesson of the light? Because that is where I'm always going to channel and write the Monday mantras and record them, is based on the light side, even though I know there's so much suffering going on in the world. I know everyone's got a lot going on and people are desperate, but we have to come back to the consistency of our spiritual journey. With Diwali, there was millions and millions of people around the world celebrating this festival. It's a very, very important festival, just in the message. It doesn't matter about the mythology so much in terms of what I'm discussing. The lesson is finding the light in our lives. And with our dharma, with our purpose, our true essence, this is something that's really big when it comes to Scorpio season, and I being a Scorpio, is to get to the truth. What is the truth for you? We know that the truth for everybody is different, because we're all different people. But with this energy of the light and the dark, with our ancestral healing that is coming through, honoring who has gone. As I mentioned to you, it was my grandmother's birthday on Sunday, and it's probably why I got up feeling quite heavy, because the granddaughter in me was longing for her, but I also knew to acknowledge her for the existence that she's given me and my mum and my sister and the other people that she's created in her life. And we are acknowledging these people that have gone before us, rather than going, why did you do that? I mean, I do that too. Like, why do I have to heal from this? But we want to acknowledge that we can actually liberate them. Because when I work, I don't see body. I see all energy. I see all souls. So this is why sometimes the Quint and All Souls Day, I will question, like, is that person still living or dead? Because I can't actually see the difference between the physical and the non-physical in the space of channeling when I'm working with a client. The foundation of us clearing our homes, body and dwelling, is occurring. And this is why bodies are feeling really weird. And this comes up again later in November, which I'll discuss during the week that it's in. But it's like our bodies are changing. For this upgrade, there's a cleansing, there's a clearing, there's a ascension that wants to happen, but the body is kind of integrating and merging with accepting everything that we've got at the moment. So this new beginning that is coming, because it's like an end of a phase and then a beginning of a new one, it's like this light over dark. The new moon that we had was to clean and clear and intend the light, intend where the light is guiding us. And, I've been seeing the star ruby, and this is the six-pointed star, which I'll talk about more in a minute. But if you're seeing stars anywhere, there's so many signs and symbols coming up for us that are showing us something. There's meaning behind it. I did light a candle on Diwali Day. I chose a yellow candle, and I set my intentions in them, and it was burnt throughout the night. And then on the new moon day, I did my own meditation to align with the 111 alignment and to allow my purpose to come further. And this is what's happening for you. I can feel it actually coming up through me to you, is aligning you on your purpose, your dharma even more. And your karma is how you are acting, the intention behind how you are acting. Like, were you and have you been put in positions where you need to make the right decision? And the right decision sometimes isn't an easy decision. Sometimes it's the hard way, it's the long way, and it usually is. But doing it that way is going to change your dharma. A lot of people have these amazing gifts but are stuck. There is something that needs to be cleared in order for that alignment to flow. We have so much light coming into our lives and information through signs and symbols and looking in the shadows for the light. So when you see there's a shadow in your life, there's something that's a bit dark, step into it rather than around the periphery to see how you can bring the light in, being unafraid of the truth, because we all know that the truth sometimes is so jarring and the truth of like our situations, of what is actually going on, what we need to do, what we need to heal. And it's sometimes we get to that place of being fed up. I know I can too, going, oh, here we go, I need to deal with this again. But these cycles, these karmic cycles are ending. There's really this big ending coming, and things start to really lighten up. So we're moving forward, building our spiritual systems in place, getting all the support in place in order for us to clear old karma, create new karma, and step into our purpose even more. As we move through the week, the soul progression card that came up was signs. And of course, on that signs card is feathers. And I know that many of us, I know I've been getting a lot of messages, people seeing different types of birds. So have a look online to see what those birds' meanings are for you. But sometimes the online meaning is not what it is going to be for you. You need to step into it and have a look to see what that sign means. I also have a meditation on the app called Sign Language, and that will help you start to attune to what the signs are meaning for you. It can take so long for things to manifest. And I know this in my own life. There were things predicted for me 20 years ago, which I'm only seeing now. And part of the reason why is because I got in the way. I didn't trust enough. I didn't let the natural just unfold. I was trying to control, being the controlling personality that I do have inside of me. But when I'm in the flow of intuition, things unfold beautifully. And it's really important that when we are operating here in life, when we are acting, there's another dimension that is also acting in accordance with us. So we are changing as above, down here below. And we need to remember that law for this week's Monday mantra when I get to it. We have karma to heal, but we're also creating new karma, and we cannot control what we've already done or what others have done in our ancestral line, but we have the responsibility to sign a new contract. to make new decisions. Our true essence of our Dharma is coming forward. We get so many emails from people who have got all these amazing gifts, but they don't know what to do, or they don't know how to create it into how to help people, because there's going to be some karma unlocking. Karma needs to be healed in order for you to change your Dharma. And sometimes to step into your Dharma, sorry. And so this is why you need the help of a practitioner usually, because it's like we all need some external perspective sometimes to have a look, to go, where is the blockage? Like, why am I feeling this resistance? Why am I feeling this fear? Why can't I turn this into something? And that's when we have to dig and apply the soul progression lessons, because everything is connected. So you might be thinking about your purpose as just your career or your business or your work or your gifts, but there's another area, like how I was seeing siblings coming through last week, which was interesting because, you know, the energy of one of the days for Diwali is bonding with your siblings. It's like siblings were coming through a lot last week because it was to create that new bond. It was to reconfigure what that means, because it's actually connected to another relationship, another area in your life. The signs card came up as a reminder that yes, we are being shown clear signs, that we are signing new energy contracts of karma. So I remember doing something last week going, no, this is not the right thing. I need to change this. And I consciously said that out loud, going, this is not the right thing to do for me. And I knew that I was changing my karma by doing that. And it was something quite small. I can't remember what it was. Everyone before and after us is being cleared now, and we are the responsibility of doing that. It's time to review how we are inside ourselves, our virtues, what the laws that we're abiding by within ourselves, and our purpose. And remember, purposes are varied with everybody. It's not just spiritual gifts, because everything is a gift. Artists, accountants, medical people, people who create things, people who sing, people who dance, people who clean, people who are beauticians. They are all gifts. It's just that people get misconstrued that only gifts that are, you know, spiritual in nature obviously are gifts. No, they're all gifts. We all have intuition, and some of us are just tuning it. And I know that many of you on this journey with me from the time I've seen you as clients. And remember, my work takes years sometimes for a person to integrate it all and to understand, for that breakthrough to happen. I know that more and more of you are getting it. You're understanding what this journey is about for you. So what signs did you receive last week? And what are they telling you? I went, again, whenever I beach walk, honestly, there's just always so much that happens. Oh, those of you who listen to the angel story, there's another piece of this. And once I have received that other piece, I will tell you what's happened. And it's so mind-blowingly amazing that this angel is leading us to so much more. But that's how you need to be piecing these signs together, because it's all telling you something. Then the yellow candle that I burnt at dusk was around the solar plexus, your inner power. And I knew I was doing that for the greater good of all of us, because I talk about inner power this week, and I will in a moment. This yellow candle, this auspicious day of Diwali, the festival of lights, where we celebrate the light overcoming the dark. Goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and abundance, she was around us. This is why I went on to Instagram stories to say, do some of the luxury meditations on the app if you felt inclined to do so. But there's a reward that's coming if we follow the signs on our soul path. And this is also why it's been a week of healing karmas, because any darkness anywhere in our memories are being cleansed. And shape-shifting, everything is moving. I can see it all moving in the universe when I tune in. And astrologically, like if you haven't had an astrological reading done, you might want to go and do that at this time to see what your chart is doing. And I don't know an astrologer before someone asked me, you've got to go to who you naturally find and shapeshift into new forms to bring us back to what is most important to you. The stars are speaking to us. Goddess Lakshmi, in the picture that I chose, she's holding the stars, and it's like it's written in the stars, and we're being shown the way, the light in the darkness. And then I put up the post about the portal. It only takes a moment to receive an impression from something or someone. This is why a moment of someone even looking at you and judging you, a moment of someone saying something negative about you, you're going to get that karma back 3 times. I remember one of my healers saying that to me when I was once in my very Scorpio wanting to get revenge on someone for hurting me. And she said, it'll come back to you 3 times. So she said, send the light. And so this is why it's really important before we say anything negative to someone, before we send hate mail, before we do anything like that, it's coming back to you because it's a reflection of you, isn't it? So how do we convert that to the light? That is the impression that we are making in the energy. It's the impression that we are making within the karma that we are creating and trying to change. And I know we all have the shadow side. I am number one to put my hand up. But it becomes less and less as you go on this journey and start applying the light to it. We get so caught up with the belief that it's only meaningful. Something is only ever meaningful if it's the time spent in line with our expectations. This is why, I don't know why I wrote this, but it's like, it was only meaningful because I spent 3 hours with that person. But really, in a moment, we make an impression. And so that is enough to shift something. How were you holding on to impressions last week and your expectations? Because really, we should be walking around with no expectations, even though we all have goals and things we want to achieve and fulfill in our lifetimes, but without the expectation of time, without the expectation of why the thumb's coming up, because my thumb is up, but it's an acknowledgement of, yes, we need to learn this lesson and for it to be reiterated in our mind for all of us. The star ruby is a sign of our personal power, but it's also giving us direction, like the polar star, like the North Star, like the Star of Bethlehem. It's showing us the way. Look out for stars, look out for constellations. Where I'm going this week is going to be apparently where I can see a lot of stars, so I'll let you know how I get on with that. And it's like the star ruby. When the star ruby is seen under the sun, our inner sun, our solar plexus, the yellow candle, the light within us, it reveals the 6-pointed star. It's an illusion. It's an illusion that can only be seen in the light and the dark. And in the dark, the star ruby remains hidden. So this is why all the illusions are starting to break down and the hidden realms are being seen. This month, the Scorpio then heading into Sagittarius much later in the month, about 9 days before December, the mysteries are being unveiled. The illusion is being seen. Now, the star within the star ruby represents to me direction. Follow the Bethlehem star, follow the North Star. And this was so funny because I had written this post a few days before I posted it because it didn't feel like the right time to post it. And then I realized why, because the day that I posted it, before I posted it, I was driving. And I put this up on my Instagram stories and I was parked at a light. I stopped and there was a car in front of me and their registration plate was High Star, like High Star. And I just took a quick photo quickly and put my phone down. But that for me was, again, the star leading us. We're giving the compass of direction. We're being shown direction. So nature is guiding us. Even if you're not seeing stars, it doesn't matter because it's, symbolism. And this magnetic field is directing us and calling us towards truth. It's like, I don't know, I can just feel magnetism happening. And we need to be ready to move to this new foundation of the unknown and really wake up to life, wake up to what it's asking of us. Karma and Dharma are working together. Our intention behind what we do and how we do it reveals our true nature because we're all light by nature. It's just that experiences and other people's shadows overtaking their light can bring us back to that place of stickiness. And when it reveals our true nature, how we do things, our Dharma becomes our star compass. Like when you look at a compass, it's going the different directions and we have to choose. Are we going to follow the North Star or are we going to change things completely? And we're being guided into more aligned decisions and to act in ways that are in union with the soul. The star in many cultures means different things. And you know what made me laugh even more? I don't read the news. Usually it'll be friends or people that will give me information. But I know when I'm guided to look at things, it's for a reason. So I went onto CNN's website and had a quick look, and there I saw an article. A Tudor home in England has been found with witch marks engraved on the walls. And I know people get a bit weirded out by the word witch. I mean, your hairdresser's probably a witch, and there are good witches and there are bad ones. It's just because people gave that term a really bad name, but actually the witches that were hung and killed were also because they had so much wisdom. So anyway, they found witch marks. And this article was put up on CNN on October 29th, and I saw it on, I don't know, Friday, I think, or Saturday. And one of the marks that were found is the star. And no, so the occult has made the pentacle about the pentacle, but the true meaning of the star was protection. So we are protected when we feel guided. We are protected when we know our direction. So I knew that I was seeing that particular finding, this unveiling, this uncovering of old wisdom. And the other thing, I know I brought up Mother Mary a couple of weeks ago because quite a few of you were writing about it in the group chat. And they found markings, and I'm saying this for a reason because everything I say is for something, for somebody. The two V's like this together is actually protection, calling in Mother Mary's protection. This is why people, witches, at that time were drawing V's, the two V's together. I think, and also the hexafoil, which again, 6. The hexafoil, which is the circle with the flower sacred geometry in it as well. So I found that very, very fascinating that all of these signs, these star-like symbols, these protective symbols are coming up because protection is direction. Because when we feel safe, we will want to be guided. When we are not feeling safe, we want to control because we're like, why is this not happening? Okay, remember, I'm always here for you. I am only one person. I'm doing my very best to see as many of you as possible. Unfortunately, with my job, I can only see a few at a time and then have time off to go back to myself and before I can go again. But it is always the right time when you see me. And I know all the clients who have seen me know that you book at one time and then you come at another time, and it's always the right time because things need to happen. It's all divinely orchestrated. If you need any help, if you need a mini reading, remember mini readings are for short, acute, brief questions. They're not to go into layers because I work in a process. I work in a way of uncovering all the layers, and I can't do that in a mini reading. So if you're needing help with anything, just sort of brief, that's the best way to go. And don't forget the app. If you're having any app issues, please email Karen with any of these things, soul33@gmail.com, and just have the right subject title so she knows what she's helping you with, which will be immensely helpful. Okay, we're going to move on to this week's Monday mantra. My inner power is supporting the truth for my interdependence. My inner power is supporting the truth for my interdependence. Your inner power is here in your solar plexus, and also for women in their womb, but I'm particularly focusing on the yellow this week, okay, on the yellow, your inner sun. It's a very, very powerful time at the moment, and we're really being called to something more of our truths. Truths are being revealed about you. And do you know, I went and picked up a book from my bookshelf. Now, I've never opened this book. This is a book that I've inherited recently, and it made me laugh when I opened the book because it's all the shadow sides of the star signs, the zodiac. And I opened up the page to Libra. And now, Libras, please don't be offended because I did not write this book, and I don't think it's about Libra in the way that I'm going to tell you what I picked up from this. But we need to watch out for narcissism this week. And I don't really like that word. It's not a word that I normally use, but it's like narcissism. It says here, narcissism is constantly at work and colors every department of your life. And wanting to be loved, admired, is an obsession. Now, I'm not saying that is you, but I'm saying we're being told to look out for that. And so the book made me laugh when I looked at Scorpio because, gosh, it really pinpoints all our shadow sides. But narcissism comes up. So is someone, or even are you, if you are willing to face the truth about yourself, have narcissistic tendencies to want power and want control and to be loved in the way that is from the ego? So that is something that I felt when I opened that page, when I said to them, what is it from this page you want me to tell everybody and to tell me? And it was that. So we've been shown really strong signs, and I'm just seeing the stars everywhere amongst other things, but the star is something that's very strong. And I know some of you have been messaging me about that too, that you're also seeing stars everywhere showing up in your lives and your meditations. But also rainbows are coming up, and this is a really important thing. Whenever I see a rainbow, I say thank you, because it is like a bridge to the other side. And these strong sides will keep leading us to the power source to help us align and connect with spirit more. Our soul mates. I've separated the two words, soul and mates, because I'm not talking about soulmates like lovers. I'm talking about souls. Our soul mates are stepping forward more than usual. Soulmates are speaking to you. So who or what is showing you to be their soulmate? Maybe your soulmate is an animal. Maybe it's nature. Maybe it's a person in the living. Maybe it's a person in the afterlife. Perhaps it's the sun. Perhaps it's fire. That's all got the consciousness of soul energy, because we are fragments of stars. And so this is the energy that's coming through as we're discussing this. When you see a rainbow, what does it mean to you? When you see a star, what does it mean to you? Derive your own intuitive meanings for what it means to you. I'm just here to guide you, and you know best. You know best for you. The word soulmate is going to hit a little bit different this week. And I know that about where I'm going, because souls have called me there, and I am not related to these souls. And this reunion that I'm going to be facing and meeting with is going to be happening in your life. A reunion with the soulmate beyond the traditional meaning of soulmate. The veil is so thin right now that the illusions of time and space are being blurred. Signs are being given, the stars are aligning. Symbols and signs are protecting us, like the pentacles that they've been finding in the Tudor homes and the stars that I'm seeing everywhere and how they're showing up in my life. Symbols and signs are protecting us as we cycle through the next season, working with things rather than alone. This is why the interdependence comes in. I know for a fact that I've been independent to my detriment in the years before, and now I work with everything more because I need to. I also, if we want to have functioning relationships with anyone or anything with spirit, it's an interdependent relationship. The law of correspondence, as above, so below, is really active right now. You know, there are places in the world, ancient lands, ancient indigenous places, where they built infrastructure based on what was happening above, where you can see the solstices happening, like the light shining in all the direction. Remember, the sun is a star too, so that also, like I was watching the sun a lot last week on my walks and things. I'm like, oh, the sun looks really interesting. What is that telling me right now? But these places where they have been built to look, where the North Star is directly there, where the solstice is happening, the equinoxes are happening. This is what I'm talking about. As above, so below. It's like we're creating what's up there down here in some way for us. And so we need to look at how it's merging, how we're working interdependently with the souls within the sky. We are still working with karma and dharma. It's not that that's gone. It's just we're flowing it in a different direction a little bit. There's more motion, more depth, more truth. And your past karma has the ability to be changed again this week because soulmates are guiding you. I'm going to go and listen to the soulmates that have called me to this place that I'm going to be freed. There is an initiation that begins this month. And the ancestors The soulmates are helping us move into a new phase where there'll be more revelation. Ancestors led us and brought us here. We are a product of all their actions, all their thoughts, their DNA, and their emotions. There is direction that is taking place. Oh, my crown chakra is tingling as I say this. And we need to stay in a positive state and environment while being grateful for all that we have now. No desperation, no fear. A renewal is happening, but it comes from our ancestral past. There's also the energy of fertility, and it's a bit blocked at the moment, fertile energy. There's like stagnation, and we're wanting to create, but there's something stagnant. I can feel that in my solar plexus as I'm talking. So this is beginning to shift. There's a blast to the past. Could mean a past directly that you will understand, or it could be somebody else's past. You'll understand why I'm speaking like this with next week's Monday Mantra when you know where I'm going. There's a blast to the past, and this could mean glimpses of your own past lives or clients that I've got this week. We're going to be looking at that, or how life was for you and how it was for your ancestors. And ancestors are soul ancestors, not necessarily DNA ancestors either. This is why soulmates hits a bit differently this week. You are not alone this week. Spirit is communicating with all of us, supporting us. Any delays in creation, fertility is not just about babies, is because you're being asked, and we're all being asked to cherish what we have now. Joy wants to be created from within our light, our inner power. A bridge is being built on the 5th of November, which is Tuesday. Lord Ganesha, the elephant god, he is celebrated. Obstacles are starting, the stagnation is starting to move out of the way. We are being renewed with the light. Light is what makes seeds grow, and therefore, where there is light, we are supported with a bridge leading us to the next phase. So this week is really about your inner strength, your inner power, supporting your truth for interdependence, working together with your power, working together with your soulmates. And also, I didn't get a tarot card this week. I don't know why. I got an anchor. And I then thought, okay, an anchor. Let's see, there are actually tarot cards, not in the traditional pack, about anchors. And anchors are about, as we think of it, stability, security. It also means safe travel, which I thought was really interesting. Could be astral traveling for you. For me, it's physical, both actually, because I'm going to be doing both. Long-term success is coming. So the anchor, I saw it in the form of a tarot card and then realized that there are tarot cards with an anchor. And it represents the number 35 or so, okay? So the number 3 and the 5, which adds up to what? To 8. So there we go. So number 8 again. And someone mentioned last week, I think in the group chat, thank you for doing that. We were in the 44th week last week, so 4 and 4 plus 8. So really auspicious time for all of us. So we're going to take a moment now. I get you to close your eyes down if you are not driving and it is a suitable time for you to do that. But if not, just keep your eyes open. We are going to support your inner power. We're sending energy now for you to be able to handle the truth from a place of light and to be able to negate any narcissism within or outside of us, to be able to be interdependent, to work with others, to work with our soulmates. We're going to be asking for clear signs in the physical world that our ancestors and soulmates are present to help build a bridge towards our renewal and our next phase. Your Monday mantra is, my inner power is supporting the truth for my interdependence. My inner power is the truth for supporting my interdependence. Now, don't forget, your Monday mantra is likely to be late next week. And I'm talking about maybe a day or two, because I'm told where I'm going has very unstable, if not no internet. I will do my very best to get it up in the timely fashion that I normally do. But if not, it'll be worth the wait, because I want you to have the energy also of where I am going to be. So just bear with me. It'll come at the right time. And remember, I am here for you. I'm only one person. If you need any help, soul33@gmail.com with the right subject. Don't forget your homework exercises this week. Cell infusion with Makersha, my spirit guide. The life maze meditation, because it's like, where are we being blocked? What's the bridge being made? Sovereign soul, like how are we interpreting our life? The 3 chambers, which chambers are you going to be walking through? And the November healing is very, very powerful to help us wake up. I can't wait to talk to you next week. It'll all start making sense. So listen to all the Monday mantras, because everything is merging and helping us to understand.